the one life pours its bounty through me. As God finds a fuller outlet through me, I experience a new consciousness of joy, peace, and security. And so we'll take those beautiful words into our quiet time for just a few minutes this morning. I invite you to take a breath, relax, and go within. As we take another nice deep breath, knowing we can always return to this place and this space, this stillness and the silence. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. This now completes our meditation time. Namaste.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check. Yeah, just low. Check 1 2 1 1 2 1. Check. Check 1 2. Check. We might have to bring the volume up a little. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Hello. Check 1 2 1 2. All right. We need to bring this up just a little. Bring it up on the top. young and old, we will sing together, together in one song. Come together from different worlds, we are drawn together. In our own way, we can pray together. Together we are strong. I see God in you. You see God in me. One path, one vision, one family. Come together, dreams and hands we will join together to build a place we can grow together. Together we are whole. Please be seated. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone? Good, 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 good. Glad to see you here today. Welcome to everyone joining us online. If you are joining us for the very first time, we welcome you wherever you may be on your spiritual journey. Know that you are welcome here. And if you'd like to stay in touch with us, if you've not done so already, you can sign up for our weekly mailing list. It comes out on Saturday mornings, and it's a digest, if you will, of what's happening around here, our message, if we've got live music and workshops, classes, events, and so forth. So you can sign up in the lobby or online or use that handy QR code on screen right now this morning. We are broadcasting live to Facebook and YouTube. Good morning, everyone, there in our virtual community. And you can follow us on those what would those be, outlets? Those streams. You can follow us on those organizations if you would like to, and keep up with what is happening in our organization. And Wednesday nights we replay Just the Talk. So if you miss anything on Sunday, if you just need a midweek boost, I know I certainly do, you can watch Just the Talk on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Facebook. And it's a great way to introduce our community to friends and family by sharing those web broadcasts. They're also posted on our website. There's a full library there of many of our talks and series and things if you ever want to go back and explore some of the teachings that we've had. We have a great community here at SCSL. We are growing. We love meeting new people and our new friends that come and see us. And we have a wonderful mission, vision, and purpose. If you would join me in speaking that into our service this morning. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for personal and community transformation. Our vision is a world that works for everyone. Our purpose is to awaken to our spiritual magnificence. And so it is. Good news this morning. Now, this one sounds like science fiction, but it's real, okay? It's real. Taking you back to biology class, okay? Remember fungi? Fungi? Well, can fungi, which are organisms without a brain, still show signs of intelligence? Researchers at a university in Japan conducted a study to measure the decision-making process, and they discovered some amazing things. Fungi, if you remember from biology, are their own kingdom of life, but it turns out they're more similar to animals than plants. Now, these are photos of what the test was that they did. And if you've ever seen them growing in the woods, you may have seen the mushroom tops, just little mushrooms. Well, underneath that, there's this whole forest of mycelium, which is sort of like aspen trees. If you are familiar with aspen trees, that, you've got multiple trees with one root system, right? And it's very similar to that is how these fungi grow. So it's through this network that information is shared, sort of like the neural pathways in our brains. This is fascinating stuff. So they examined this wood decaying mycelial network and to see how it responded in two different situations. They set up wood blocks in a circle and in an X. And they expected the fungi to simply just spread out from there, right? Because they just grow through spores in the air. Well, that's not what happened. For the X, the growth was greater on the outermost four corners. They were like outposts that they were, it's like if I have stuff on the four corners, then I'm covered, and they were the heaviest, and everything else in the middle was kind of light. The circle was completely different, though, that they didn't do anything in the middle of the circle. They realized that they had the perimeter covered with the circle, and they didn't do any growth on the inside of the circle. It was all around the circle and external to it. So they determined from that that they could think, that they have intelligence. Isn't that? I found that fascinating. I don't know about y'all, but I found that fascinating. It just goes to show us that the intelligence of the divine is in everything, right? No matter what we call it. All right. Well, I am your speaker, your host, and your practitioner today. So would you join me in just a moment for our opening prayer? As we go within this morning, just take a breath. As we move into the silence, we recognize that this is the place of spirit. Recognizing that that is all that there is, that infinite intelligence, from that which we think is not intelligent all the way up to the most intelligent we can imagine. It's all God. It's all spirit. It's all source. It's all the power and presence of the universe. It is infinite love, pressed down to overflowing. It is the givingness of all. It is the giver of life. It is creative, creation, creativity. It is a peace that is beyond our understanding. It is the harmony of the universe. It is the order. It is right action. It is absolute wholeness and perfection. We simply call it God. And all of that is here now present in, through, and as me as an expression of it. As I am made of that one substance that is the divine. Same thing as stars. Same thing as each and every one of us, for we're all made of that one infinite substance. Spirit, expressing in, through, and as us as life. So recognizing that we are unified in this wholeness, that we are one. I speak my word for and about this oneness that we are. Knowing that each of us is blessed. Blessed in that infinite love that is the divine. Blessed in that infinite intelligence and wisdom. That we have all that we need. That we are whole, perfect, and complete in this manifestation. That we are love and joy, peace and harmony. And that no matter what the appearance may be, we remain whole, perfect, and complete at our center. I speak my word this day for all faith communities, all who seek, all who experience the divine, all who seek a closer relationship, a connection with that which is greater than themselves, knowing that there are many paths to get there, but there is only one God. And so we bless all faith traditions, all who seek, whether it's a yoga mat, a mosque, a church, a center such as this. I know for anyone that has anything on their heart today that they are seeking prayer around, that we allow the blessings of this prayer to fall over them, knowing that whatever the need, it is answered and fulfilled. I bless our service. I bless all those joining us online and later, and all those joining us right here, right now in this room, forming the consciousness of this community. We are so blessed. And so it is with a grateful heart filled with joy and thanksgiving that I release this prayer into the action and activity of law, knowing that it is done. It is so. And we affirm that truth together by saying, and so it is. You are blessed. You are a blessing. 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 You are a blessing. You are a blessing. Good morning. I'm Victoria. I'll be giving the announcements this morning. Sanchita Pandey said, "Never let the things you want make you forget the things you have." Would anyone like to share a brief gratitude this morning? Oh, great. Thank you.
Good morning. I am super grateful today for this past week full of friends. I have made and met a whole bunch of new friends, and I had some very, very dear old friends show up again, and I was able to spend some really quality time with them this week. So super grateful.
Yay. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you? I've had a phenomenal class, foundations class. I've started with foundations class, and I've gone through a number of classes with Reverend Jill and Lee, and it's finally sinking in with enough slaps in the back of the head, getting out of your head. It's been very rewarding, and I've had a couple of great interviews last week, and I'm feeling very positive with the connections I'm making.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Well, I'm grateful for modern medicine. And Bob's been suffering from a lot of pain from a back issue. And through the modern medicine miracle, he had a shot and woohoo, it's all gone. So I'm very thankful for that. Okay. Okay, today, October 20th, is Reverend Jill's free workshop. If you've ever been curious about why you think about money the way you do, or why your financial picture looks the way it does, plan to join Reverend Jill and discover your money personality. This free 1-hour workshop promises to be a fun and lively discussion to better understand why you look at money the way you do. And it starts at 11:45 this morning, and we have snacks available. Yeah. So next Sunday, October 27th, is our annual Halloween costume party and fall potluck in the courtyard. And that's always a lot of fun. Join us as we welcome fall with food, fun, and costumes. Everyone is welcome to bring a dish to share as we celebrate our community. Be sure and sign up in the lobby today and let us know what you're bringing. And after the message this morning, Reverend Jill will open the mic for your questions or comments about today's topic. And we have a basket of pens and paper in the lobby that you can make notes if you wish. And we love music at Scottsdale CSL. And today we welcome Denise Roussier with Higher. All right. Do you remember last week when I was talking about toilet paper? Yeah. And how I couldn't change the situation if I walked out of the bathroom with toilet paper on my shoe unless I knew about it, right? I had to be aware of it in order to change that reality. Well, today we're going to be talking about simple awareness. And my talk is minding the gap. Minding the gap. The first time that I remember hearing about the gap was Wayne Dyer many, many, many years ago. And he said it is the space between the bars that holds the tiger. It is the space between the notes that creates the music. It is in the space between our thoughts, the gap, that everything is created. That everything is created. In our book of the month, Abundance by Deepak Chopra, he describes this gap and how using the practice of simple awareness can help us to experience the state more often. Now, if you've got a meditation practice, you may think, yeah, right. My mind never stops talking. Chat, 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 right? Monkey chatter we talk about. Monkey chatter, monkey mind. But it happens all the time. Not only in our meditation, but in life in general. But we're usually so busy doing things, so busy being distracted by 1,000 different things that are happening all around us all the time that we don't notice it. We don't notice when one thought stops and another thought starts. They just seem to run all together like it's constant. Do you ever have a thought that just keeps going, that you can't make stop? You're obsessing over something, and it's so frustrating. 9 times out of 10, it's negative. Yes. Yeah, we've all been there. Ugh. Where we discover this is in the silence, of course. We discover the gap in the silence when we're still, when we take the time to pause and to go within. This morning, our meditation was a little delayed in getting started. We had some technical difficulties, and it was actually Cox this morning instead of us. But we were a little delayed, and I said, well, do we want to even do meditation? And I got a resounding yes. Even 5 minutes is better than nothing. And it was. It totally was. There was just an absolute calmness that came over this room during that brief meditation time that we took in between the craziness of trying to get our internet back up and the peacefulness of the meditation. This month, we are talking about universal prosperity principles. We've been talking about it all month, and we've got one more week to cover these. And we've talked about how abundance is really a state of awareness. Abundance happens up here, doesn't it? It happens up here before we see it reflected out there in our lives. And a lot of times we miss that part of manifestation. We miss that part of abundance and the law of attraction and things. We get so focused on the thing out there that we forget it starts in here. This state of awareness is really where it happens. So expanding our awareness is the path to experiencing greater abundance in our lives, both inner and outer. We have an internal abundance, and then we experience it in the outer realm. A lot of times we want to make a change in our life. We want this. We wanted this. We've talked about this before, that bridge in between where we are and where we want to be or what we want to experience. We forget that that is called change. Change. We don't like that, right? This is comfortable, but I really want that, but I don't want to do that change thing. When we were learning, we were little kids and we decided we wanted to walk, we had to give up 4 points of groundedness for 2 points to decide to start standing up and walking on 2 feet. We had to change, right? It was scary. We were wobbly. We probably fell down a few times. We had to change. We had to change from being a college student to becoming a working adult. Some of us are still working on that. The process of changing our minds and our thinking usually involves one of two things. The instantaneous, aha, I remember something, I need to take action and make a change. It's immediate, right then, right there. The other is the deeper, more transformative epiphany. Oh my gosh, I've never thought of it that way. I've never seen life that way. Wow, I got to do it different. I've got to do it different from now on. I'm a totally changed and different person. You ever had one of those where your whole life just really shifted? The interesting thing about these insights, or the unfortunate thing, is that we can't plan, control, or schedule them. Have you noticed that? They just show up. Deepak suggests, though, that we can cultivate the state of awareness that opens the way for insight and revelation. And this is what he's calling simple awareness. It's a practice to help us notice and experience the gap. It's a practice to quiet our minds. He goes on to say the mind naturally seeks its source. It will connect to your soul if given the opening. And I love that quote. For whatever reason, it just really resonates with me, that the mind naturally seeks its source. It will connect to your soul if given an opening. And we give it that opening through our practice of meditation. We know that meditation has many benefits. It's been around for thousands of years. And finally, science has studied it. And science goes, yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. It gives us a deep sense of peace, makes us feel younger. And science is proving that it even can lower our blood pressure. So those are great side benefits for meditation, aren't they? But the real purpose of meditation is to create a conscious connection with that which is greater than we are. That's our purpose in meditation, is to connect to Source, to reunite our soul with its source, that God's spark of life that came together in each of us as we were entering this realm of life on planet Earth. So how do we practice this simple awareness that Deepak is talking about? What is simple awareness? Sounds simple enough, right? Well, it means be here now. Is that always easy? Nope. I would bet many of our minds have already wandered off this morning while I've been standing up here talking. What's for lunch? Gosh, I wish she'd hurry up. Where are we going after she gets done talking this morning? Gosh, what did I do last week? I can't believe I did that last week. I really forgot to do that this morning too. I'll get it when I get home. Yes, it happens. That's what our minds do. Simple awareness is being present here and now. You're either here or you're somewhere else. You're either off in the future, planning or worrying, or you're back in the good old days thinking about how good things used to be, or regretting something that's happened, or fretting about something that happened. Or maybe even worse, we're caught up or stuck in this whirlpool of negative emotions. That thought that we just can't quit thinking about, that thing that happened that we're so embarrassed and humiliated about, we just keep replaying it in our head over and over and over again. Yeah. Why, oh, why, oh, why? My favorite question, why? So how do we get back? How do we do this simple awareness thing? Well, Deepak provides us with 3 examples in our book of the month, Abundance. And he shows us where we go someplace else and how to get back. So let's look at those. The first way that we can get lost is in repetition and boredom. Repetition and boredom. For me, TV is the greatest example of that. I generally know the plot. It's kind of called this thing like the hero's journey, and it's a variation of that. Some shows are more interesting than others, the way they portray it. But I usually wander off into the future planning, wander back into the past, or he will tell you, I go to sleep. Boredom, I go to sleep. So that's a great example for me of repetition and boredom. I'm sure you have your own in your life of repetition and boredom things. Maybe it's your job. But whatever it is, how do we get back from that place to simple awareness? How do we get back? Deepak gives us a process he calls centering, much like our own centering process that we use and teach here. His is more of a breathing exercise, and I want to share that with us. The first thing we do is we close our eyes and get comfortable, and then we take a few deep breaths to get into the rhythm and to settle down, right? To settle down. Then we begin to focus on the center of our chest, the heart space, or the heart chakra, you may know that as. And then you take a very deep breath, filling your lungs to capacity, and then release that slowly all the way out and count 1, 2, 3 before breathing back in. And continuing to repeat that process of the deep breath in, the slow exhale, holding it for a count of 3 until you find that you are in a centered place. You are in awareness, still focusing on that heart space. We enter simple awareness. The second way that we can get lost is in that whirlpool of negative beliefs and emotions. We just seem to be stuck like a whirlpool. Most of us want to be open-minded. We want to be clear in our thinking. But about half the time we're on autopilot, right? So about half the time our minds are just cluttered with reactions rather than responding or being present. We get in that hamster wheel of discouraging, self-defeating, judgmental, and generally negative thinking. We sometimes call that being a victim. Anybody ever had their own pity party? Yeah, life's not treating me very fair. Why did that happen? Why did they say that? We begin to have thoughts like life is not fair. It's a cruel world. To get along, you just have to go along. No one's going to look out for me but me. I'll take care of me. You got to scrape and claw your way to get to the top. Can't be easy. Nothing good ever happens to me. Life sucks and then you die. Because those thoughts can be emotionally gripping, and perhaps the world of effects is showing us some validation right now about how that actually is true. Yeah? We can begin to feel things then like this isn't going to turn out well. Something is bound to go wrong. Just wait for the other shoe to drop. Just wait for the other shoe to drop. Oh, I've been here before. I know what's going to happen. I can't cope with this. It's too overwhelming. Why did I ever think this was a good idea? That's one of my favorites. It's like, what possessed me to do this? Both of these are habits of thinking, aren't they? Both of these trains of thought, if you will, they're habits of our thinking. And that thinking reflects our consciousness of not being adequate, not being worthy, not being enough. We can use that centering practice that we just described to break out of that, but sometimes that stuff's so deep, so painful, that we are stuck. We can't get out of it just by centering. Try as we may. So he recommends that we dig a little deeper to dig our way out, to dig our way out to the other side. He says, first ask yourself, what is the root of these thoughts? What's going on here? Where did these even come from? Everybody else doesn't have those same thoughts that I have. Where did I get them? We believe the first person who told us something. We believe things that are repeated often. We believe the people that we trust, and we didn't hear a contrary belief. So we took all that in. Usually as little people, right? Usually as little people. So from there, we begin to ask ourselves, okay, who was it that told me this first? Who told me this, that this was true? Was it repeated a lot? Was it something that I heard over and over and over and over again? And then did life show up to confirm that for me? Why did I trust the person that told me this? It was likely a parent, a preacher, a teacher, right? Those were the three big figures in our lives as little people that we trusted, that we depended on, that we needed. And is there a reason or evidence in my life to believe the opposite of this? Is there any reason to believe the opposite of this? To prove to myself this is not true? So he suggests that to reverse the experience, we have to understand why we thought it was true in the first place and realize now, as an adult, that we can change it. That we can change it. We can separate that opinion of someone long ago from the fact of our life and who we are today and how we are showing up as the adults that we are. We can then make new and empowering decisions about the person, the situation, whatever it might be. I think I've shared with you before my algebra teacher, 10th grade. And or maybe it was calculus, I don't know, whatever it was. Anyway, she told us at the end of the school year, who's signing up for the next level of math. And, all of us raised our hands, it was a small class. And she went, yeah, you'll do fine. You shouldn't do it. I was mortified. I'm 65 years old and I'm still telling that story. Now, I have made peace with that because I realize what a ridiculous statement it is. I can do math. She told me I couldn't do math. I can do math. And I have this other handy thing called a calculator that if I need any support, I can get it pretty easily, right? So I've let that go. It's a great story to tell because that's what happened. Somebody in authority told me I couldn't do math, and I owned it. I believed it. I believed it. Who told you something that's not true that you believed? Do you still believe it about yourself? Or have you broken through that, let that go, and made your own decision about what is true for you? The third way that we can be someplace else is when we get stuck in bad memories. Stuck in the past and those old wounds and traumas that we may have experienced. These memories are sticky because of the emotion that's attached to them. They're sticky. Memories are hard to just forget, right? Our brains aren't wired to forget. What we can do is discharge the energy associated with those. That's our work, is to discharge, neutralize the energy associated with those memories, whether it was fear, anger, disappointment, whatever it might have been. When that memory comes up and it's painful, figure out for yourself what was the emotion and then begin to discharge that. It may require some forgiveness work. Our emotions reflect our consciousness, and this practice of simple awareness helps us to untangle those hidden knots that may still be in our subconscious around some of those things. Simple awareness, be present now, listen in the gap. Being here now is the path to greater abundance. It's the only place it can happen, isn't it? Greater abundance can't happen in the past. It can't happen in the future if it's not happening now. So this is the way. This is the way. Be here now. Abundance is a state of awareness, and being aware allows us to live in this present moment. And that's where reality is renewed and refreshed in every moment. Because everything's always moving, right? It's always moving, nothing's static. So being here present now is where we grow and we learn. Be present now. So we have this thing called Mindful Monday that's a newsletter that comes, not a newsletter, it's a recap of the talk that comes out on Monday mornings. If you would like to learn more about this, I recommend the book, Deepak Chopra's book this month, Abundance, The Inner Path to Wealth, is a very good book. We're covering just really the first half of it. The second half is all about the yoga, spiritual yoga practice with the chakras. And it's very, very good. So I invite you to pick that up and read through lots and lots of practices in this book that you can use to help you with things like healing, things like, this simple awareness and getting in touch with the chakras and the healing that's available through those. So the Mindful Monday comes out on Mondays. You can sign in with the QR code, send an email, or the front table has a sign-up sheet. And your spiritual practice this week, guess what? Meditation. Big surprise, right? Spend time being in the silence. Give your mind the opportunity to seek source. Give your mind the opportunity to seek its source. Give it the opening to connect to your soul. Give it the opportunity. Consciously connect to that which is greater than you are. I invite you to commit to a daily practice this week, every day, every morning, and see if you experience greater abundance. Internally, emotionally, externally. See what happens. Simple awareness means living in the present moment, even when life's emotions and memories try to take control. Remembering that we're in charge of how we feel. We are in charge of how we feel. We can then choose to live more aware, choose to be more in the moment, to achieve that greater state of awareness. Well, now it's your turn. Questions, comments, complaints? Yes. You wrote the one down?
Pardon?
Did you write one down?
No, this is my trick. Well, I was thinking about what you were saying, that what you remember from your childhood, how it has an impact on you. And when I was 9, my mother became very ill, and I had 2 little brothers. One was 3 and one was just a new baby. And so from that time on, I had to take responsibility for my family. I mean, I didn't do after school things. I didn't, throughout our whole lives, I was the one that cooked dinner. I was the one that did everything, responsible for my brothers. And so as that translates to an adult, I was going through a divorce and I had a counselor, and she asked me, well, tell me about your childhood. And I said, oh, it was fine. No problems. That's fine. Tell me about it. So she told me, and she said, so you have to be in charge now, right? You take care of everything. I said, well, yeah, that was my life, and that was what I learned. And so then I was able to take that, which was kind of a negative, but I could turn it into a positive and say, okay, I don't have to be in charge of everything. I can take that as it was a positive. I mean, it wasn't my mom's fault that she got sick and so on and so forth. And so then I learned, okay, that's kind of my first go-to. I'll do it. And then my second one is, but you don't have to do it. So thank you.
Yeah, that's great. It's great when we can see what it was, where it came from, asking those questions, and then turn it around and heal it. Change the story. Great training ground for you to learn to run the household and run your life and be responsible and independent. And yet, there was things that were missed in your childhood. So beautiful. Yeah, I bet it was a beautiful relationship with your brothers too.
Very.
Yeah, very special.
They're still my little brothers.
Right? Yeah, that's great. That's great. Anyone else? No? All right. Well, I would invite you to pray with me one more time this morning. So as we go within, recognizing that one life that is God, that one power, that one presence, we recognize all of it is here now present in, through, and as each of us as an expression of it, filling this room and beyond it, covering our entire planet and expanding into the universe. It is infinite. And I know that we are immersed in that infinity. And they were individualized right here and now as this expression that we are. And that we have come with purpose in this time-space reality right now. Not earlier, not later, but right now, this present moment. And so we just breathe into this moment and allow ourselves to be fully aware of it. Feel the air conditioning circulating through the room. Hear the sound of the motor, the sound of my voice. Feel the chair supporting you, the floor beneath your feet. Feel the fabric of your clothing on your skin. Notice your feet and your shoes. Notice your breath. See if you can sense or feel your heartbeat. Fully present right here, right now. So in this presence, I speak my word for each of us, knowing that we are blessed beings of light. Come here for the fullest expression of love, for the fullest expression of joy and abundance and prosperity, to be awake and aware, to experience this life completely in this now and present moment. Just continuing to breathe into that and to feel that presence. We open our hearts to gratitude and thanksgiving for the life that we live, for this community, for the joy and the abundance that we experience, for all that we are, our friends, our family, all that we have, all that we do, all that we create. We are so blessed. So in this gratitude, I release this to the action of law, knowing that it is done. And we affirm this truth by saying, and so it is. All right. It's time for circulating our good through the community this morning. Time for grateful giving. Ernest Holmes, the author of The Science of Mind that we teach from, says, I know that my good is increased and multiplied as it is scattered. I am both an inlet and an outlet for the passage of divine love, life, and power. Wherever I go, then, I shall impart the divine blessing which I have received. I invite everyone online and in the room to join us in this powerful circulation of our good to and through this community, the acknowledgement of the good that has come to us this week. And we have lots of ways to contribute to the community, both in time, talent, and treasure. If you would like to donate financially this morning, you can use our website and the donate button. While there, you'll be invited to make that a recurring donation if you would like. And you can pick up tithe tickets in the front lobby as you come in as the reminder of your donation that has already gone through, that you are still participating in consciousness. And we have Money Finders, which is our prosperity program, where you focus on the things that come to you unexpected or serendipitously and tithe 10%, retaining 90, which proves the principle what we focus on expands. Our Zelle address is donations at Scottsdale CSL, credit cards on the QR code or in the front lobby. And Stephen is our usher this morning that'll be coming around if you would like to put your donation in the basket. If you would join me for our affirmation. I am an open channel through which prosperity flows. I accept the divine flow of goodness, ideas, and substance through me now. I am grateful for my full and prosperous life, and so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
How grateful I am for all that has been circulated here today, from the smiles, the conversation, the prayers, the meditation, the music. Each and every one of us gathered here today. I'm grateful for the financial good that has come to and through this community, knowing that those gifts are pressed down, blessed to overflowing in the lives of those who have chosen to give, and knowing that Scottsdale Center for Spiritual Living is a grateful receiver of all of the bounty that comes to and through this community, as it allows us to continue our mission in the world of creating a world that works for all. We are so blessed, and so it is. Thank you, Stephen. A few closing announcements. If you'd like prayer today, that'd be me. See me after out in the lobby. And remember, stop by the front desk, make your donation, or sign up for our potluck next Sunday. Everybody dressing up? Yes. Yay. It's going to be fun. And sign up for your dish so we know who's bringing what and what we need to fill in around. That'll be fun, fun, fun. Halloween costumes ready. And next Sunday, Reverend Lee will wrap up our prosperity series with the way forward from here. Where do we go from here now that we know all these prosperity principles and practices? What are we going to do with them? And 11:45, maybe 11:30. We may get started early. Is our workshop. This is going to be fun. So I hope you all plan on staying. We do have snacks. Everybody's welcome to stay for snacks after service. And anybody who wants to stay for the workshop, please do. It's going to be fun, and it's not a real long one. So join me for that. And our affirmation, if you would stand and join me for that, then Michael will sing us out. I live in peace and share my joy. I am empowered by spiritual truth. Today I practice simple awareness, and so it is. Okay.
There was a time in my life grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it all go. Are you listening? You got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open. Yes, I'm only here for God. No, 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 no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free